coming back from your friends the other day. Welcome back to the Struggle Session Podcast. I'm your host, Hollow Otaku, and of course I have...
Just K1.
And Hollow Otaku. We are coming back from our trip to go see...
one of our good friends.
Papi Senpai, Toph, and Toph's brother, Caleb. So right now, we're the last stretch of our trip. We've just now hit traffic. I'm driving, of course, so I gotta focus, but I can still talk. K1's my passenger, and keep making sure that I'm awake, but I'm always awake, but also tired.
So we just decided, hey, what the hell? Let's give you Road Stories Part 2, just to finish up a nice little weekend vacation.
In the first road trip podcast, I was talking about me and Lorenzo at traveling all the way to Orlando for Disney World, and so you can catch that up on our podcast that was on Wednesday, but you can also watch our vlogs on that too. On the same channel, just look for Day 0, Day 1, and Drinks Around the World. Didn't do much. But, so we did Universal and, of course, Disney. But we're going to start in Universal. That was our Day 1, essentially. No. I forget which day. I know it's not Day 1. Maybe it was Day 1? Maybe I posted something as Day 1. I don't remember. Vaguely on the days when we went to Universal. But when we went to Universal, it was rainy season down in Florida, so it closed most of the stuff. This was during May, and we were so excited because we were doing both parks. So we did one side, and then we were going to take platform 9 3/4 to go to the other side of the park, Hogwarts. So we were on the Simpsons side, right? So we're going through, and we see the Rock and Roll roller coaster closed because it was raining so quickly. We jumped into something that was inside, which it turned out to be the Jimmy Fallon ride. Good ride, by the way. It's really cool. Lorenzo liked it. He thought it might have been a little bit boring, but he enjoyed it. It was a good ride. It had like the set, like if it was him there, like in his New York place, and I was like, yo, Lorenzo, let me see what you look like as a late night talk show host. So there's like a photo shoot or something that we did, just being stupid, but it finally stopped raining and it opened up, so we had to quickly book feet, ran all the way to the Rock and Roll roller coaster, get our lockers, put our glasses in and all that stuff, and we get to the ride. Well, I chose to listen to Daft Punk. So you're allowed to listen to whatever music you want, and so I chose Daft Punk, and I think Lorenzo picked Kanye West, I think. I forget. Ask him. And so we go, and it is a high 90-degree up. And I'm just like, oh, dude, like I get the anxious. I hate heights, but I get really anxious, and I'm like anticipating for the drop. Lorenzo goes dark on me and just goes, yeah, we're going to die. I was like, what? Yeah, man, we're going to die. I was like, why the fuck would you say that? Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. I've never ridden a roller coaster before, and this is my first one. So let's have fun. I was like, what? And we dropped. I was like, fuck! Why did you tell me that? Why do we have to pick the most intense one for your first one? All right. He enjoyed it. And then I was like, looking back, I could see his face, just all sorts of like excitement and scared. Me, I was like, what is happening? But I'm like listening to the beat, so I'm just like, hell yeah. Please make sure you tell your friends this is your first roller coaster. I don't need to go through that trauma again.
Big facts. But bouncing off that, I guess I can bring up one of a roller coaster story. So, when I was in 8th grade, there was every single like separate elective class had a big trip. The home ec had a trip to New York. I think the wood shop had a few factory field trips, but the band, chorus, acting, and some other club I can't remember, we all got this one big festival, and then we get to spend the day at Busch Gardens. And that was literally the main thing that everybody looked forward to, because it was probably the first week of June, so everybody looked forward to that, and that was the main reason most people went in those electives. So of course I was in the band. I actually played alto saxophone for a few years. So every year, it would be a simple phase, and they would always have this system of, hey, listen, we're getting 20 chaperones, because parents were allowed to come, so that they would have enough chaperones to split everyone into groups, and then they go off. So the simple build-up was you would do the festival first, then you get to spend all day at Busch Gardens. Now there were three groups you were either in. You were in the roller coaster group, meaning you were just going to go on every roller coaster, no matter what.
Not that hard, especially with Busch Gardens.
Yeah.
You can do that within 2 hours if there's no line.
Right. But this was for people who just wanted to do nothing but roller coasters.
That's what I did when I went to Busch Gardens with Y Square. We did every ride starting at 11, and then we finished all of them at 1 or 2. And then we just left. We were like, all right, cool, we're done with this.
Yeah.
We did all the rides.
The second one was more of the medium, meaning you want to do some roller coasters, but you don't want to
You're doing the roller coaster / attractions. You're trying to do what you can to accommodate other people.
Right.
Okay.
Right, and then of course the third one was you just want to literally either play games or watch shows. You don't want to do any rides.
Oh, the boring people. But
yeah.
I mean, if you can turn that into water parks. But there's no water park in Busch Gardens, but there's water rides, I guess.
Yeah, but like they said, it was for mainly just people who wanted to do shopping or look around or just play games or sit in the arcade all day, which I have no problem with. But, it was just if you're going to Busch Gardens, you got to ride rides.
Busch Gardens is not more on the roller coaster side. It's more on the, hey, let's let your family enjoy culture.
Well, yeah.
Their version of culture,
I mean, yeah, I get the thing, but if you literally, the big challenge was always every year which team could hit the 4 in a row every time, and the most times for the one day. So that was the challenge for everybody who was just going to ride roller coasters. So, I get stuck with one of my best friends, a guy that I've never talked to, but my other friend was cool with, and then this other meekish person on the band. So we get one of the cool dads, who literally doesn't care. He's like, where do you want to go? Listen, I'm getting off the day of work. Just enjoy yourselves.
Quick question. What instrument did you play?
Alto saxophone. And then I actually got promoted to baritone.
Okay. It's not bad.
Yeah. So, we're all the first, you ask, well, what do you want to go on first? Unless I say, okay, let's go ahead and just go for the big 4 because we're here early. Let's go ahead and get the big 4 out of the way.
What is your version of big 4? Is it, here, Apollo's Chariot? Loch Ness Monster?
Yes.
Big Bad Wolf?
Yes.
And I don't think the Griffin was there at that time, was it?
It was Alpengeist.
God, the Alpengeist now has no line.
Yeah.
Alpengeist. But now the big 2.
2?
Because they took out the Big Bad Wolf.
Oh, shit, when?
3-4 years ago.
Yeah, fuck. Big Bad Wolf was my third best coaster.
The one that they just put in, the Volkswagen. Fucking amazing. But I was blind throughout that whole thing, but it's like a laser show roller coaster ride. It kind of has there's a big creature in the woods type Big Bad Wolf type thing. You're in a Volkswagen. It's hilarious. But it puts you onto the tracks. You go through all this roller coaster, see all the lights and the scariness. I couldn't see. It was dark. And then it stops and then drops you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds interesting. But back then, it was, in the culture of rank, it was Loch Ness Monster, Big Bad Wolf, Alpengeist, but Apollo's Chariot was always number 1 for me because that drop off Apollo's Chariot Oh man, they even told you don't put your arms in because people have lost their shirts getting on that drop, and I've seen it. But so the first thing we want to go through is, of course, let's get Paulo's Chariot out of the way. So it's not a big line; it's like middle.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not like gonna see the signs that say 45-minute wait.
Okay, so you took the left to Germany and went through.
Yeah.
Okay. Or sorry, to Germany, and then you can go to Italy, I think, or the Alpengeist next.
Like the Alpengeist is in the middle,
mm-hmm.
So when you pass through the entrance, but to get to Apollo's Chariot, you have to go past the Big Bad Wolf,
mm-hmm.
past Alpengeist, and then turn right to get Apollo's Chariot.
I'm sorry to stop you on your story and all that. We'll get back to, but they have a new ride that's a VR ride. It's a VR roller coaster. It just opened up, I think, 2-3 years ago. 2 years ago.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. But when me and Y Square went in March of that year of 2018, it wasn't open till April. We went there day one when the park opened up, and they were like, "Yeah, it's not open till April." And they kept announcing about this thing, but they said nothing about it opening in April. And I was like, "Why?"
Yeah, reverse marketing there.
Yeah, and I'm just like, "All right, cool." It's an okay ride, but I want to experience it myself because it's like you're, I think, flying away from a dragon or something. But you can see the fairies and all that. It's like a magical thing.
Oh, dang. That sounds like that one ride they used to have at Busch Gardens. It was like this Scottish ride, and it was like you climb up a big hill, and there's banshees and like mystical creatures, and then you go into this, you're like a leprechaun in a bottle.
Isn't there Oktoberfest?
Yes.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, because then the ending is right where you literally are almost getting dropped into a witch's cauldron. The person takes you back, and then she summons a dragon to pull you up, drops you almost into a lake, and you get caught by a mythical creature and saved.
Yeah.
So, that was still one of my favorite rides also. So thanks for reminding me of that.
Yeah, no problem.
So, back to the story. So, we get to Apollo's Chariot, not a big line. So, we're I think a quarter of the way to our seats. And, we're getting there. And the guy's looking a little sick, the Meekish guy. And I'm like, "You cool, dude?" He's like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, "Dude, you sure? You look like you need to go to the bathroom or something. We can get out of the line and wait for you." He's like, no, I'm good. So, and he's asking, "So how high do you think this coaster goes?" And I'm like, "Well, this is the tallest coaster in the whole damn thing. That's why we got to get it first, man. We have to do this first because this line's going to pack up later." He's like, "Oh, really? So, is it a drop and a loop?" And I'm just like, "It's a drop, man, a full drop. You are going to feel weightless as you're going down." Oh, good to know. So we get up there, and we're almost in the middle, but then somebody didn't want to be in the front. So they want to be a group of friends in the thing. So we actually traded places with some people in the front, and we the front. Yeah, we're gonna go Fred first.
What's up with people wanting the front? I know you want the view and all, but the front's not that special.
It just depends on which ride, because if you get Apollo's Chariot and you're the first one to take that dive, I mean, you're gonna feel that.
The best one, in my opinion, is the very back, because it's all velocity.
I will say that for the volcano and in King's Dominion, the volcano and the Anaconda. Yeah, the back is definitely best.
No, even all the rides, the back is so much fun because as soon as it drops, it's just gravity, and then you just get pulled straight down. So you get the max velocity going down.
Facts.
I love it. It's like a nice whiplash.
Yeah. So, we're getting strapped in, and the guy keeps looking like he's about to puke, and I'm like, "Dude, you good?" And he's like, yeah, I'm good. And I'm like, "Dude, if you don't want to ride, you can just jump off right now, man. Nobody's going to say anything about it, It's like, "No, I'm doing this. So, we start rising up, and, I'm keeping my eye because I'm thinking he's about to just literally piss himself. But, he's cramped together. He is strapping both arms around, the harness and all that and locking himself in. I'm like, "Dude, dude, chill. You're not going to fall out. You're good." It's like, okay, all right. I gotta loosen up, right? You know, it's just my mind. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool. So then we get to the top, and I'm like, here we go. And one of my friends just yells, ball hair, and just drops right at the end. And we're busting out laughing. And, you know, we go through the entire motions, we go through the loops, and then as soon as we stop, we're like, yeah, that was amazing. What do you think, bro? And, like, we hear two of them, but then, like, we look back at the Meekish kid, and...
Meekish.
Hey, Mr. Meekish,
look at me!
And literally, the man is just like... I'm like, bro? Like, he looks like he's choking. We're like, bro. And, like, I grab his arm and, like, dude. He's like, and, like, he's breathing like he just had a heart attack. I'm like, dude, what's wrong? He's like, is it over? I'm like, dude, we just stopped. We're calling in. He's like, oh my God, what happened? I'm like, what do you mean what happened? We dropped and you didn't see that? He's like, all I remember was getting to the top and then just black. And I'm like, dude, you passed out before the drop? He's like, there was a drop. So, you know,
ain't no Crazy Taxi on King's Dominion. Paramount, yeah.
Oh yeah, those turns, man.
No, Crazy Taxi. It's the kid ride.
The ones at the top where you take those sharp turns. Where it just
no, that's the Ricochet.
Yeah.
This is an actual kid ride that only like toddler elementary school.
Okay, the super small one. All right,
the super small one that does two things.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, you know, we get off the ride, and, you know, he's just shaking, and we help him out, and we just put him on a park bench and just let him chill, and we're just like, dude, have you ever gone on a roller coaster? And he said, listen, I just didn't want to be with everybody going shopping or going to shows. I wanted to try. You know, I've just never been on a roller coaster, and, you know, I didn't want to be like that person who said he never goes on, because then they might put me in the group with just the shoppers and all that. I wanted to try, but, you know, I just didn't know how to sing that. So we just said, dude, it's cool. We're not going to rat you out, anybody. I mean, we can start off on some smaller rides for you, you know? You don't have to go on all the big rides with us.
But those were just the big...
Well, yeah, but you know...
The only roller coasters there.
Well, there was also some small ones, like, I think the Shockwave was still... No, wait, not Shockwave.
No. Not exist. No, there wasn't, because... remember, it's not a big roller coaster place. It's those four.
Right.
Back in the day. I think the most closest one was Dragonland.
Yeah, I know Dragonland.
And now it's Sesame Street.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm not even joking on that.
I know. That's the thing, because I remember Dragonland.
I guess we're going to turn this podcast maybe to roller coasters, because I got a shit ton of roller coaster stories.
Same here.
So, in our previous podcast, last week's podcast, about work stories, I worked at a summer job. My summer job was like a camp counselor. I was a director. So we go to Kings Dominion every year for that trip, and so we get some cool chaperones. But the directors, all the chaperones has to chaperone the middle schoolers, and then the high schoolers can go in a group of 3 or more, do whatever as long as they come back in a certain time. Well, my group is only roller coasters only. We could do some rides, but we're going to ride every single roller coaster as much as we want. And I always keep a promise that we'll ride at least all the roller coasters at least once. And I've never failed that promise. There's another promise I do. There's, the Flying Eagles?
Yeah.
That ride? So it doesn't always stop where it's always supposed to stop. You know how you've been on the Delirium?
Yes.
You know how it always stops at always the same spot every time?
Yeah.
So the Flying Eagle doesn't. It's a random thing. And I always promise the kids, you place your stuff where you think your cart's going to be. If your cart lands where your stuff is, I will buy whoever's in that car Dippin' Dots. To this day, no one has gotten it.
Damn.
They try to strategize. They try to go, if I put it went 3 behind. I'm going to take that one and 3 behind. I go, yeah, sure, go for it. Actually, you know what? I lied. One person has won. Just me. I was like, backpack there. Not rigged. I was just very smart about it. So that wasn't the actual story. This was a side story. The real story. So I have a specific order on going things. We start out with Dominator. Then we go towards the Grizzly. And then we do that area. And then we jump all the way over. By the time we jump over, it's lunchtime. So we can grab some lunch. So we jump from the Grizzly, the Ricochet, the new Twisted Timbers hasn't come out yet on that, but they're getting ready to build it. The volcano is still there, and this was 2016. I had like 10 kids following me because I actually had like 20, or 15 because I was very popular to like. Because I was the most chill person.
You were the cool counselor.
Yeah. And they're like, they told me, Otaku, you need to cut down like, 5 people. Because, your others only have like 2 or 3. You have 15. I was like, what can I say?
Dude.
I was like, I had to go to each kid and go, it breaks my heart to do this, but I need you to be a different person. It breaks my heart. I don't like doing that.
Mr. Otaku, I like riding roller coasters with you.
Oh, no, it's just we're not allowed to curse, but I don't care if they curse as long as they don't come back to me. Hey, bye, Kings Dominion. Hey, Kings Dominion Boulevard. As long as it doesn't come back to me, I'm okay with it. I don't care. I'm very chill. You can listen to whatever music you want in my car. I don't care. As long as it doesn't go back to my boss. And I trust those kids. If they do, then they break my trust. And I'll figure out who it was. So, back to the story. So we head towards the Anaconda area, where Anaconda, the Intimidator 305, Flight of Fear, and the Stunt Coaster, and Avalanche, and Volcano. That area over there, where like the Tomb Raider was. So we took a stop at the Hungry Hippo to eat lunch. I had a burger. And like some of the other kids got like chicken tenders, one got a salad. We're gonna focus on the one that got a salad. The person that got a salad was one of my favorite kids. Like, she will always play the game, she'll always do this, and she's always energetic. And I'm like, that's just like me when I was a kid when I did this program. And then I knew her family, so her family was chill. Now I knew her when she was still in her mom's stomach. And I was just like, all right, let's go. And she had like a nice fancy name. But for the sake of it, we're just going to call her, Lisa. Lisa's not her real name, even though Lisa is a cool name too. But hers was like a long, like interesting name. So Lisa had a salad, and so we go to the Stunt Coaster. And it was a short line, so we go through, and I was like, all right, guys, whatever, go find your lines, whatever, I'm staying up at the front. And I was like, all right, Lisa, you're riding with me on this one. And she's like, all right, yeah. And we get in, and we go. Did the ride, and they're like, Otaku, can we go again? I was like, hell yeah, we can, let's go. Jump back through, and I was like, all right, Lisa, you're still with me on this ride? Yeah, so we did, like, I think we did more towards the back, and we go. And I was like, yeah, no. And like we ended the ride, I go, no. And I was like, all right, everyone. And like she threw up. Some in the car, some out. And I was like, fuck. All right, guys, we gotta go get your stuff. And like, Jason, we go get. I was like, no, we gotta go. Get out of here. We need to leave. So there's vomit on the inside the car, and I was like, we gotta go, please, we gotta go. And so we left, and right as we got to the exit, she threw up. Like more.
Like projectile or just that little like puddle?
It was a big puddle.
It was like,
yeah,
Vesuvius?
It was a big puddle. Like I dodged it in a split second. Like I had like the speed force in me. I was like, huh? And jumped. I was like, nope, not today, Satan. So we sat down, drank some water. It turns out that Happy Hippo is not good on food. That was the reason, because the food was not that good.
I have to agree. That Tomb Raider burger. Ugh.
Yeah, so sat her down, and apparently later on, I was talking to my boss, and she was like, "Oh yeah, like the stunt coaster closed down for a bit because someone puked." I was like, "Oh, that was Lisa." She was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah." Did it help?
Nice.
So there was always a problem where I was like, she also has a bit of a motion sickness kind of, so that kind of contributed with it. But I was just like, every time we go to a road, I was like, "Are you good? Are you good? Are you gonna throw up on me again? Huh? No? All right, we good." Another one was one of them didn't go. I'm gonna call him Julio. One of my other favorites is it's very chill. And then he's never been on the Rebel Yell. This is the same year, so we go to the Rebel Yell. I was like, "All right, man, because it's your first roller coaster. You're sitting next to me, or you've never been on it. You're sitting next to me." So we're having a nice conversation, and we go up the hill, and like we're at the very front, and we're just having this conversation. I was like, "Yeah, man, dude, this is cool. It's all ups and downs. It's all hills. It's great." And I look at him, and I go, we get to the very top, and we're about to go down, and I would go, "Oh, by the way," looks down, like I point down, "That's the drop," and he dead ass stares at me and goes, "Why?" Drops, and I was laughing throughout that whole thing. I was just like dying. There was no woo. It was just like straight down. I was like, "All right, so how'd you do it?" "I loved it. Thank you for that surprise."
Okay, so this one is literally the most, like, I had the same kind of experience with you, like you had, but like it was it was like randomly. So back when I was finishing up college in my junior year, Thursday night I get home and I'm making dinner, and where I live like had a church youth group, like mostly on the first floor. So that was mainly my roommates. And I get a knock on the door, and it's my RA, and I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And she just says, "Oh, K1, you busy this weekend?" And I'm like, "No, I mean, I was probably going to hang out with a few of my gaming club, but anything, like, what's going on?" So, yeah, we had one of our chaperones had to cancel because they had to, take a flight over for their business. But, so we were hoping you could just be a substitute chaperone for our youth group's trip to King's Dominion. I'm like, "So you want me to watch some kids for your youth group?" It's like, "Yes, but trust me, we won't have you change. You when you're in charge, you do what you do." And I say, "Okay, I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to be literally the coaster person. And I don't want any people who can't handle roller coasters because I'm not slowing down for them. If you're not into the thing for the high impact coasters and all that, don't even bother." It's like, "No, it's cool. We'll pay for your gas to drive them out there. We'll pay for your lunch. And we'll pay you $50 just for the day for doing that." So,
they pay for your ticket, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So it was everything. So it was technically all expenses paid and then $50 at the end of the day. And I'm like, "All right, fine." So literally, we wake up like super early, like 4:30 in the morning, Saturday morning. And I take my car, pick up a few kids, drive them. We get to King's Dominion like a good hour before it opens, and they start splitting us into groups, and they start saying, "Who's going in with this?" And then they say, "All right, K1, just state what you were looking into." And I just tell everybody, if you're not into high impact coasters, don't bother, because I'm taking everybody on the fastest rides. I don't care how many times we have to do them. That's going to be our whole day. We can stop at an arcade or a show one time, but we're doing mainly coasters. If you don't like coasters, don't come with me. I don't just babysit people on that. So, like, mainly a bunch of older, like, I'd say 4 older kids came and said, "Yeah, we just want to ride coasters. No, we don't want to do any shows or that or thing. We just want to ride coasters." And I'm like, "All right, you're with me." And just as, like, the park's getting ready to open, we're starting to make our way in, the one of their like little brother comes up and says, I want to go with them. And he goes, oh man, listen. And he tells me, listen, my brother always wants to hang out with me and all that, but he can't handle coasters. He can't handle coasters. I trust me, and my mom said don't take him on any coasters, so don't. So, I think we're just done with that. But he starts like, he's like, come on, I really just want to ride coasters. I don't want to be with these people and watch these baby shows. Just let me go ride on a few coasters. So, I'm debating, and, I look at my RA, and she says, it's up to you if you want him or not. So, I'm right at the gate, and I'm just like, I do not want to start this, like, right now. But then I literally, how the opening King's Dominion, the first ride is the gondola?
Oh, yeah.
So I go, okay, and I literally say, all right, kid, here's the thing. I'll let you stay with me on the gondola. I'll let you stay with me only if you ride the gondola 3 times in a row, and without sweating or crying or doing anything. If you can handle the gondola, then yes, we'll take you with you. And they're like, that's it? Yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, just 3 times on the gondola in a row. He can handle that. He can handle anything. So, I get a
weird way on that.
Yeah, because, the gondola is just the main thing is height. So I just make sure to see if they can actually handle the height. Because I do not want them screaming their heads off when they get on the
That's
ride
the
there.
best part.
That's what I
scream
mean.
Going up and then screaming going down, and throughout the whole ride.
Right.
That's fine. Like I have a fear of heights, but roller coasters, there's nothing about it. Like I used to be scared to go on the Intimidator because of how high it is. Until I was just like, I sat in the front, faced my fear, so I was like, yeah, this is not bad. I still hate heights, but I love roller coasters.
Same here. I really can't handle heights, but when I'm in the roller coaster zone, it don't matter. I just love that intensity.
Yeah.
I don't think
the
about
adrenaline.
Yeah. So, I just make him that. I say, all right, and we just go, okay, we're just going to take a three times on the gondola. You handle that, I ain't going to say nothing. So, I sit next to him, first time. Gondola goes up and down and up and down, and he looks like he can handle it. So I'm like, okay. Oh, even if this doesn't work out, hey, free ride on the gondola. Don't care.
So you call it the gondola. I call it the Viking ship.
I just started calling it the gondola because mainly it is.
I think it's the Berserker.
Yeah, I think it is too. So, but I always just call it the gondola, especially how skinny gets up. So, I just don't pay no mind the first time. Second time, I start seeing him shutting his eyes like big time, like locked shut eyes, and I'm like, you good, son? He's like, I'm good. I'm like, dude, if you don't want to do this, you can just say you don't want to do this. He's like, I'm good, and then the ride stops. So we like, okay, one more and you get to go. And he's just like, when he gets off the second time, he's like scooching, like literally like this, and I'm like, dude, you good?
If you can't see, it's like he's shimmying.
Yeah, he's just like that little shimmy and shaking, and I'm just like, dude, are you good? I'm really good. I'm really good. And I'm like, dude, if you're gonna throw up, just please go to the bush or something. It's like, I'm not gonna throw up. I'm not throw up. And I'm like, bro, if you're gonna do this, I put my hand on his back, like, bro, he's like, I'm not gonna throw up, and I just say, oh yeah, so I literally take the kid by the arms, pick him up, and put him right in the bushes, and I just go, just let it go, just go, and he's like, it's not throw up, and I'm like, what do you mean it's not throw up? He's like, it's something else. I'm like, what? So is this something else? And he's like, could you come here? And let's peek over there. And this big ass piss stain just right down the middle of his shorts. Like both pant legs are just a wave in yellow.
I thought the second worst.
I thought like when I saw he was like tightening up, I thought maybe he shit himself, but then like he just like says, and I'm just like,
you don't pay me enough for this.
No, it's just like good thing I did this because this would have been humiliating in front of like a big coaster.
Yeah.
So I just said my RA, and I said, yeah, the kid just pissed himself, so
that's enough for me.
So I'm just like, someone else can take him, we're gonna go hit the coasters. So, like, we got there and they say, where's the kid? And I was like, he didn't pass. He's like, I saw him on the gondola 2 times. I thought he could get at least the last one. And I said, yeah, till he started his own little log flume ride down his pants. And they're like, he pissed himself? And we're like, yeah, sadly. And he's like, hey, and then we look back at his brother, and his brother says, my mom told him not to get on coasters because this is exactly what he does. But he always tries to show off in front of everybody. And then when this happens, he always makes excuses. And I'm like, this is why I test people before I bring them, because I am not dealing with that crap when we're on a big thing and we got to stop to put you in the bathroom and get you another pair of shorts and all that.
Your way of testing is different from my way of testing. If there's someone who wants to be in my group, if you want to be in my group and you've never been on a roller coaster, this is how I test people. Straight up go to the Dominator. You have a long-ass line to think about your choices right there and there. If you make it all the way there and sit there and you enjoy, so be it. Join my group. Mm-hmm. If not, I'll send you to somewhere else.
I mean, damn.
Because I want you to have fun, but in your own way.
Damn, you just give them straight trial. You throw them into the fire. I at least give them like a thing, like just 3 times on one.
This is why. 3 times on a gondola, I'm wasting my time where I could have ridden already 3 to 2 roller coasters by that time.
Well, it was just opening, so the gondola line wasn't long,
but when we get there, we're always not there when it opens.
I understand.
It's like about an hour. So I just throw them onto the first roller coaster I see. So one of the kids hasn't been on a roller coaster ever, but he was excited to go on it. So he jumped in my group. I was like, all right, I'm going to call him Jake. I was like, all right, Jake, you got this, man. All right. Whatever ride we do, you're going to sit next to me on your first ride. We're going to the Dominator. Dominator closed for the bit. All right. Second best. Here we go. In order, we're going to the Grizzly.
Yeah, Grizzly.
Dude, that kid yelled to the top of his lungs of enjoyment. And I was like, I'm proud of this kid.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm going on every roller coaster. I was like, that's my boy. That's what's up. Proud of you. All right, cool. Let's keep this going. We'll get to the Dominator later.
Yeah.
But so I took a good friend of mine. I will call her Princess because that's literally that's what she has on my phone. Because I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to need your number. And then she just put down Princess and her name. So I'm just going to call her Princess. So me and Princess went together to King's Dominion. So we tried to ride all the rides. So we had a good time. We get to the Intimidator. This is where the fun begins. So we get there. And we go up. I think we're like mid or something. And we go up. And this ride is notorious for people blacking out. Because of how much the speed goes once you go straight down and curve. It's
black dots for days.
Yeah, so she screamed, I was screaming, I was like, yeah! And she was screaming. And then I heard silence. And I looked over, her eyes were closed, I was like, Princess? 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 Oh no. And then in my head, I'm enjoying the ride, but I'm like, what do I do? I call the cops? Is she dead? Oh no. And then she wakes up at the end and I go, oh my God, are you okay? Because I was like, I thought you were dead. I didn't need this. Woo! I was like having a heart attack. I was like,
oof. Biggest oof.
I was like, all right, let's get to a different ride then. We'll make me think you're dead.
All right, she's breathing. Back to work.
Back to chore.
Okay. So one of my good friends from high school had a tradition. Every year on his birthday, the Saturday of that week, we would go to King's Dominion's Fear Fest. So one time we went there, we did one of our friends so dirty that night, because of course you go right at night, that's the best. So we're like right around where the volcano and the old Tomb Raider ride was.
Yeah.
And it's usually me, my good friend, my brother, and another good friend of ours. But this time another good friend of ours brings this other girl, like out of nowhere, to come with him. So, the three of us are enjoying the rides, but he's like trying to like coddle up to the girl and all that. So, we just start doing, dude, are you really using our friend's birthday trip to try to like lay some pipe? Really? You do that? You don't do that to your friends, man. That's dirty. So, we're up in line for the Tomb Raider ride, that one where, it's
I know
like
what you're talking about.
ancient.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Because it's the one that spins you around,
Right.
and it goes like in a circle, and then it spins you while you're in the circle. Yeah.
Right.
I've been on it.
So we're in line and we're looking around and we see like this voodoo, like this guy dressed as a voodoo witch doctor, and we point at him and he's like, me? And I go, yeah. And we actually see our friend, because our friend and the girl decided not to go on it. So they're sitting on the steps of the temple and talking. And we see our friend just starting to like really take like go for it. And we're like, okay, we're gonna fuck with this. So we say the voodoo, like we keep telling the witch doctor, get in between them, sneak up behind them, in between them. So he sees it and he goes, and I say, wait further, just wait for it. So my friend is actually like getting really close to the girl, like he has her, like he's pulling up her hand and just like going close to her and saying like things we don't know exactly, but we just see like he's trying to shoot a shot. And then out of nowhere, as soon as he thinks like, yeah, this is it, witch doctor straight in the face, he literally jerks back, jumps up, almost trips down the stairs of the temple, and we just start bawling laughing. And he is pissed. Like, he looks up and throws us the double bird, and he's like, motherfuckers, god damn it, do you not know what was happening? And we were literally clapping and applauding that witch doctor, and we just started doing, witch doctor, and then out of nowhere, just like kind of like you at Otakon, the whole line just started, witch doctor, and then the guy in the witch doctor costume just started flexing hard, like he just going, yeah, and like everybody's just saying witch doctor, and he just starts spreading witch doctor, and he gets in the middle of the temple and starts doing like a witch doctor dance, and then everyone just keeps, yeah, like, okay, so literally that day we made that witch doctor a fucking hero. Like, he just got the biggest load of attention, and most people didn't know what was going on, but they just went with it. And then as soon as we got off the ride, like the witch doctor came over and we were slapping him high fives. He's like, this is the greatest night of work. Thank you so much. This is the most attention I've ever gotten in the night. And like, we made that that worker's night. To this day, he is still one of my favorite memories of that, because we just made his night. Like, he was the most popular guy in that park for that one night.
Nice. I'm gonna jump off on your story about Fright Fest. So I'm gonna bounce off back onto your about Fright Fest. I went with me and my two friends. So we all dressed up. I was the Green Arrow. My friend took my Gloomy Bear Kigu and was that, and my other friend, she was in an Elmo Kigu. So we started going around. And I'm the very smart one, because my Green Arrow is the short sleeve one, and it was kind of chilly, but not really. But so we start doing our rides and all that, and then it hits nighttime, so you can tell when shit hits the fan. So I think we went on the Grizzly because it was nighttime, and the Grizzly doesn't have any lights. So we ride that, and then we try to jump all the way to Volcano. And the fight has begun. Well, there's this, I guess, worker. I don't know if it was a worker or not. But I was kind of far back from my friends. But, no, it was a worker. It was like these two looking king and queen type thing. That, like, had the name match and everything. The dude tried to scare me. He was like, boo. And, like, the quick movement and then said boo. My reflex goes, decks him right in the face. And he went down. And I was like, all right, cool, gotta go find my friend. And ran. And I was like, all right.
That's dirty, man.
It was a reflex, dude.
I know, but just like when you realize what those people get paid, and then you have to take literal hands, I feel so sorry for them.
Look, man, it was boo, dude. I was like, fuck. Come on, man.
I mean, I would understand if he jumped out of a bush and scared you, but just
No,
like...
I was just walking, minding my own business. And I didn't think that this wasn't a scare area. Kind of. This is where like the swings, Rebel kind of ends, the arcades, the gaming area.
So it was like well lit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the dude just went, boo. I really don't think he was working, but he was like, boo, and I was like, boom, really hard. I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go with my friends. Hope that was a lesson, and just went off my ways.
We here at Need Extra Life would just like to say we respect everybody who does work for Fright Fest, and we do not any way condone any violence toward them, even if they scared the living crap out of you.
It was a reflex, and it was self-defense.
Just putting that 2 cents out there.
Yeah.
Thank you for all you do.
Yeah. But fucking came out of nowhere. I was like, boom. I was like, sorry, not sorry. Don't do it again. Okay, bye. I ran off and like, what happened? I was like, I punched the dude because he scared me. I had a reflex. It's like, Otaku. I was like, listen, don't do that.
Like, okay, like, the only time, like, it happened to me, but, like, I was, like, really cool about it, because it was, like, near one of the attractions. So, you know, like, Fright Fest had, like, 4 different haunted houses. You had the lab, you had the carnival, you had the mansion, and you had the spooky beach.
Yes, mind you, hang on. That was my first Fright Fest.
Oh, okay.
And this was like 2016. I'd never been to the Fright Fest.
Okay. That's understandable.
So I wasn't really prepared. So after that fiasco, that's when we were about to go to haunted houses. I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm going in there. They're like, why? You remember that incident I just told you not so long ago? It's going to happen again. Because I don't know you. If it was my friends, like... my quick reaction and my quick thinking is like, oh, Fred, stop. Ooh, okay. But, like, I didn't know the dude, so, like,
right.
It was just a reaction.
Right. Okay.
So, I've never been to any haunted houses because of that fact that I'm actually scared to punch someone when I just, like, jump up. That's why during, like, some scary movies, like, just the little jump scare, and I jump up, I quickly have, like, fists ready to go.
Shit.
So, that's why I don't do the fright, like, the haunted houses. I just do the roller coasters.
I can understand that. Okay, so back to it anyway. So, you know, I go with my friends to the spooky carnival. So it's like a tent, and it has mirrors, and, you know, of course, clowns. So, like, the big scary clowns.
Yeah.
So, you know, most of the time I can see them because, like, it's not put together well, so you can see them moving through the cracks of the wall, and sometimes the mirror reflects that they're going to jump out and scare you. So, like, most of the time, like, I put my hand out so they jump, and I'm like, gotcha. You're not scaring me. So, you know, I get through all the way to the end, and, you know, I don't pay no mind. I think, oh, man, it's definitely over. So, you know, I think, okay, once I'll wait for my friends to get out.
Hang on. Did that clown run all the way around to the end just to find you?
Almost. You're close.
Ah, damn it.
So then, like, I wait for all my friends to get out in the exit. And I'm just like, they're like, oh my god, that was so scary. And I'm like, not really, man. You can see so many things. It's like, how are you going to get snuck up on by them? I saw so many, like, I didn't get caught once. And I don't plan to get caught ever again. Literally turn around, and there's another clown with a freaking bloody ass hammer, like, and like almost, like, literally tries to almost get close to my face with the hammer. I literally jump back, and my friends almost, like, literally catch me, but then they get spooked and they drop me and they run, and I'm like, oh no,
my record.
Yeah, so it's like, and then literally the clown says, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, I'll give you this. And he's like, listen, dude, I didn't want to do this, but one of my friends said that you stopped him from scaring, so he asked me to do this to you. And I'm like, where's that guy? So they literally brought out the other clown, and I'm like, let me just shake your hand, sir. You at least put a lot of effort into this, and you got me. No hard feelings. So we actually shook, and I actually took a picture with those clowns. But they were cool. But, you know, I learned that night, just don't ever think you're done in like Fear Fest, because they will get you in a heartbeat.
So I went to the first Fear Halloween event was the Busch Gardens one.
Okay.
I went with my family, And it starts out, you have to take the train, and then there's a path to lead to the exit. It's just one big trail, and then everyone gets scared. So we get onto the train. I see, like, dead cars with clowns in them. And I provoked a clown, and he started rushing to me as the car was stopped. I was like, I hope you do. Come at me, motherfucker. And then the train starts moving, and then he just stops and was angrily. I was like, I don't know what the hell I said to him. I probably called him a loser. I don't know. I didn't care. So what they have are people in grass suits. Lays down on the grass.
Like pure ghillie suits?
Yes, but not really like an actual ghillie suit like what Mike has. It's literally fake grass, but colored the shade right of green, and they just lay there.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so occasionally they'll jump up and scare. Well, my mom was in a wheelchair, so she was wheeled around, and I noticed the grass people jump up, but my mom hadn't noticed. So the grass guy comes up, scares her, and she just screams. But here's the kicker. There was a 1-2 punch. Another grass person was there, but grabbed her leg. I was like, yes, this is great.
Oh, man.
I didn't even get scared once. I was too observant of everything, because it was just a conjugation of people. So when one person gets scared, they wait a bit, and then another group will get scared. So I look up ahead and go, you're there, you guys aren't gonna get me today. Thanks.
Okay.
But speaking of unscaring, so down in Virginia Beach, there's something the haunted trail, or you know what I'm talking about. So this was 8th grade me during the summer, so I was going to be a freshman, and my church group that I worked for, but I was a attendee before then. When you're going into the 9th grade, you get to choose between middle school and high school. The best part about being in high school is you get to go on a trip to Virginia Beach.
Nice.
For the weekend, and you get to be with your friends in the group of 3 or more. So I was still on the beach, but this is about my friend Tony and my friend Sean. Okay, so what happened was, Sean and Tony, they were in this group with some other girls, and Anthony sees the skull and then sees the entrance. So he goes there and he goes, all right, just one. And the dude walkie-talkies goes, one going up. And he can hear from the top of the stairs going, from the walkie too. So he hears double. He goes, gotcha. And he was so scared. He grabbed my friend Sean, grabbed him, paid for him, and they went up. And it's Tony hiding behind Sean. Sean has his fist up, ready to fight. This dude comes up with a chainsaw, one of those working ones, but without the teeth, and scared him. And Sean just decked him right in the face. He goes, oh! And Sean's just like, are you okay? He goes, keep going. And after that, they just they ran through the whole thing, and that was it. Well, the workers get bored, so on their breaks, there's the pirate ride up right there. So these 2 girls in 3 girls in that was part of the trip went on to it, and they were on the boat ride, and all of a sudden the guy from over there with the chainsaw is right on the ride going, oh! shaking, and they just go, ah! I was like, and they tell me this, I was like, I want to see this. I go on the most boring ride ever.
Damn.
They weren't there. They were on their break. I was so heated. I'm also heated. But yeah, that was, oh man. Thank you, coronavirus, for, ruining my summer. And me not going to King's Dominion. Thank you to the dumbass people who don't want to wear masks. I'm not blaming all the 1,000 people, but I'm going to just say, maybe a fourth of you guys that went there without a mask, making it close down King's Dominion. That's your fault. You guys need to wear a goddamn mask. All right.
I.e., better to be a live sheep than a dead patriot. Ask Herman Cain.
Yep. And on that note, guys, that has been today's podcast. I am Hollow Otaku. And as always, guys, keep moving forward. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.
And, well, we already said wear a damn mask, so I guess just keep kids out of school. And don't open up college football also.
Thank you, guys. See you guys later.